Hey everyone, it's Saturday the 26th of April and it's 9:20 in the evening. Right, today's video, Carboot haul, which literally comprises of stuff that lights up and diecast. That is it, that's all I could find. I've also got some new Hot Wheels. I didn't think I would get this particular Hot Wheels series because I still think it's expensive, but I've got 6 of them, so we'll have a look at those. And earlier in the week, I think it was Wednesday actually, I acquired a nice little computer in non-working condition, of course. So we'll have a look at that and tell you the story about it and why I've got it. Because I got it in, I got it for a trade for some PC parts for another PC that she wants fixed. You enjoying that box down there? Got smudge on the worktop and snowy in a box. There she is. Actually, you can't see her, she's hiding, but I can assure you she is in that box. There she is. Told you she was in there. Right. Let's have a look at this diecast and stuff first, shall we? There we go. Right, so, of course, I saw the diecast guy at the Carboot sale. He's usually there. You know, unless he's on holiday or something like that. So, we'll start with his stuff. Now, I've got some boxed Matchbox sets. Well, actually, I suppose you could call them 2 of them sets and one's just a model. So I've got a Convoy. But it is missing its load, so I know this isn't a... Well, I can see it's not a sealed one because someone stuck a bit of tape on the end. And actually, when I read the end of the box, it's not the right truck for that box either. It says on here, double container truck. That's not a double container truck. I'm not worried about it, I'm going to leave it as it is. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just snip the bit of tape on this end, you know, and put the correct truck in there if I can find it. But I'm not too worried. We also picked up this Super Kings set. Complete. I mean, the box is a bit battered, but we do have the truck. We do have all the containers and everything, and the forklift. And the forklift truck has actually still got the elastic band around it to hold the forks. Pallet truck, that's what they call it. I think my favourite, because it's actually my favourite box design from Matchbox, is the Red Rebels set. I don't know if I ever got sets like this when I was younger. I don't remember ever having this one. Yep, both helicopters are there, and the truck and the stunt plane. Of course, I'm not taking any of those out of the box. I've got some here that I will be taking out of the box though. Now, I have got some loose items that I got from him as well, like this majorette crane. In very nice condition, actually. Really do like that. And a little corgi Ford Zephyr estate, or wagon for the Americans. Yeah, fluff or something hanging from it. I mean, compared to actual American station wagons, this would have been quite small. Big for us, small for the States. I've got a few other little bits here. These are, actually, I can't remember if this one was from him or not, but it's a Ford Maverick from Hot Wheels. Yeah, I can't remember where that one came from exactly. That has been sat up there since this morning and you've only just decided to pinch it off the plate. little end of a sausage roll. It's got a thing for the pastry as well. Anywho, got a bunch of items here from the diecast guy, all at 50p, and some of these actually surprised me. We've got a little Bedford J-type ambulance. It's actually got one door on the back, which is surprising. I've now got one complete one in reasonable condition, which is on my display in the hallway. And a few minus the doors, and that one's actually minus one door. And I've got a red GTI, Golf GTI that is. Mark II? Yeah, Mark II. And I've already got this Ford Sierra, but this is pretty much mint. Actually, I've got another two of these, but they're nowhere near as nice as this one. So I thought for 50p, I can upgrade and have a nice one. So that's exactly what I did. I'll find the other two up at some point, then I can put those up for sale on eBay or the UK Diecast Sales Facebook group. So, I've got the 8-wheeled crane, but I don't have one in red and gold. I've got a few in green and orange, you know, where this bit is green and boom is orange, but not the red and gold one, which is the super fast version. It's got super fast wheels on it. I've then got this crazy car from Majorette. I didn't know Majorette actually did vehicles like this, which was basically, I suppose, their version of a fantasy vehicle. Maybe they did it to compete with Hot Wheels and Matchbox at the time. Don't actually know the age of this. Sort of looks like a cross between several different vehicles to me, like a beach buggy, and at some angles this area, especially from the side, sort of reminds me of like a Volkswagen Golf. But then I looked at the front, and the headlights remind me of either a Renault 5 or an Austin Metro. Yeah, it's like three vehicles in one. And we've got a little Ford Escort. That one I'll probably put up for sale. I don't normally buy to flip, but as that was 50p and I know I could get a bit more for that, yeah. We'll see, I might keep it because I do like my Escorts. I've got this Matchbox Superfast Cadillac ambulance, which I also did in the regular wheels. Just what this Ford Galaxy Far Chief has got. It's got the regular wheels. Got several of these, but I do like them. The last one from the diecast guy is this little Hot Wheels. I can't remember what they call them, but the ones where if you crash them, you know, a part of it will flip round to make it look like it's damaged. I mean, it's got a good looking front end there, but if I just... There we go, got it to trigger. So the hood pops up and the front flips around to reveal a damaged front rather than a pristine front. Now I've got two of these cars that do that, because the other one I've got has got it on one of the doors. One of the doors flip round. So I'm actually surprised, in fairness, that he only had that up for 50p. I thought that would have been worth a bit more than that. Anyway, that's the diecast guys stuff. And I found this lovely little Rolls Royce on another stand. And 3 of the 4 wheels were actually round the other way. So I took them off and put them back on the correct way. I think the only thing we're missing is like the front turn signals off the wings there. I can live with that. It's still a nice looking model. There's a little bit of paint damage. There's 3 screws that hold this together, so if I actually wanted to in the future I could take it apart and give it a nice fresh coat of paint. I don't think I will. Just going to make a little bit of space and put some of these over here. On t'other worktop. I've got some other bits there as well that I got from other stands. Right, now I got these from the same person as well. These are £4 each. We've got a Corgi refuse truck in very nice condition actually. I would have said this was worth more than the £4 I paid, in fairness. It's in really good condition. I have got another one which is a little bit rougher, and I had to glue one of the wheels on because it snapped off. But yeah, that one's I don't remember my other one having a black plastic bit here either. I'm going to have to check that. It might, but I don't remember it. And the other one is this little dinky bus. I mean the brand Dinky, not that you'd say dinky bus. I have got one of these already. Actually, I think it's the same as this one. I'm not 100% certain now. But I know the other blue dinky bus I do have is in a lot rougher shape. This is not mint, but close to it. I'm not sure if this... I think there's... Yeah, it's just something sticky on the roof there, so it's not far off. It's near mint. What else have we got? I've got a few bits up there. If we want to get the Carboot stuff done, then we'll have a look at the... or at least the diecast from the Carboot haul. Then we'll have a look at the new ones. We've done that, done those. Right. So I did manage to find someone selling sealed Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. And a lot of, I don't know if he's a collector or what, I'm assuming he's actually a collector himself. But he had these priced at, well, what I would consider below, well, a lot lower than what I've seen a lot of other people try and sell them for, and actually successfully sell them for. I mean, a brand new Hot Wheels car or a Matchbox car is around about £2.50 in most places now. But he was selling these at £2 each, or 3 for just £5. So I picked 3 Matchbox. He didn't actually have a lot of Matchbox cars there, but these are the only 3 I liked. So I picked those. We've got the 1948 Willys Jeepster at the bottom. And we've got a 66 Dodge Charger there. And another Dodge Charger there, actually. It's 2023 Dodge Charger Pursuit. And for Hot Wheels, I mean, I could have been there all day picking a few more Hot Wheels. But the 3 I picked are 3 that I didn't have in the collection. Because in fairness, the majority of what he had there, I did actually already have. Or at least a version of it, you know, a variant of it. I just didn't want to go crazy with spending me money, so picked 3. So I've got a blue 1970 Chevelle SS wagon. Got it in a few different colours, as I haven't got it in blue. A 58 Chevrolet Impala. And this is the only one out of all 6 that I am not going to open, a white Proton Saga. It's the only one I've actually seen. I've seen plenty of the red ones. I've got a couple of the red ones, including one packet in a packet and one loose. So yeah, I'm going to leave this one in its packet. The others I'm going to be a rebel and open. Oh, and I found this as well. I have got lots of Husky models, got a whole little box full of them, but I never thought I'd come across one which is still in its original packet. I mean, it's £3 and that is starting to peel, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue around there and just glue that back down. So we've got the Ford camper, mint condition, obviously, because it is in the box, or the packet box, what would you call it? Packaging. I like that they've actually got the full list on the back there. Two sides. I might actually have most of them. But Husky was later became Corgi. So some of these they've been released under the Corgi name. I don't know if they ever did that Ford truck though. Next up, the only model of this size that I bought, and it's an Alpine A110, I think it said on the bottom here. Yeah. Never heard of one. I've heard of Alpine, but I don't think I've ever heard of the A110. I love the 4 yellow headlights on there. But being a Barago, it is pretty well detailed and pretty well made. It's got the engine in the rear there. With a load of plug wires, I might add. They've actually added the plug wires as well. I know Barago, they did like to use a lot of separately fitted parts. Like the tail lights, your bumpers. Got a lot of detail under there. Well, I say a lot of detail, it's not going to be too much because it's rear engined. So the exhaust, that's literally where the exhaust and everything would be. Not a lot in the front, but I did notice, I think there's supposed to be, there we go, a spare wheel going there because I can see like a little peg for it to go on. I really did like it. Never seen one in real life. Probably never will. But I do think that is a nice car. I'm only just looking inside as well. It's fully detailed interior. It's got all the clocks on the dash. Indicator stalk. And a wiper stalks. I don't know if you can see that. It's got both stalks on the steering wheel. Or the steering column, I should say. Roll cage as well in the back there. Can you see that? The red bars. No rear seats. No headrests either. Oh, but it's actually got the racing harness. Oh, and a fire extinguisher. Just noticed the fire extinguisher as well. Now, I do like Barago models. I've got a few of those. Apart from the new Hot Wheels, that's it for that side. Now, on a couple of other stores as I was walking around, I did find some other bits and bobs, such as Corgi Junior's Lotus Esprit. Yeah. I didn't know they did one that wasn't the James Bond version, because I've got the James Bond version. In fact, I've got 2 of them. Yeah, I didn't know they just did the standard Esprit Turbo. I do now. There's a couple of majorettes here. We've got the I am a sucker for them. Got the fire engine and a Pontiac in like a luminous, I'm certain it's a luminous green, with a very large engine. I mean, there's no way you're going to be able to see going down the drag strip. You just got to punch the gas and pray, I guess. But you just stay in a straight line. But yeah, that is a major. It's a Pontiac. That's all it says on the bottom. But I'm going to guess that's like a Pontiac Trans Am hiding under that. I do like my majorettes. Ooh. I'll be glad when I get to show you this because it's charging. That's good. I found this little Lido Harridan's Joinery Co. North Yorks. I've always said, you know, this sort of style of vehicle never really tickles my interest that much, but I just like the style of this van. Big old box fountain. I think that's a Bedford. I'm pretty certain it is an old Bedford snout. I could be wrong though, it doesn't say what it is on the bottom. Yeah, I just like the look of the cab and everything on this particular van, so can't remember. Oh, that's think I got like 4 vehicles from this particular lady for like £3. I believe, yeah, that was one of them. So was the 2 majorettes, and I believe these 2. We've got the Frank's Towing from Matchbox. Got a few of these ones now. I've got one which is actually missing the hook. It's hard to find one that's in really good condition. This one's not bad. I've got this little Hot Wheels there. I can't remember what it is though. And I think I forgot to bring my magnifying glass through here again. It's got one of them horrible shiny reflective bases on it. And I found this, which he had priced at £2, so I made him an offer. Because he said he was open to offers, I made him an offer of £1. Now I did get one of these in one of my boxes that I bought off the Facebook group, UK Diecast Sales. Won it in an auction, but the one I won has a broken, I can't remember what you call that bit. Not an auger. There is a proper name for it, but I can't remember. This one's complete. And I barely ever see the yellow ones available. I could be wrong, but I've only ever seen them in a Matchbox set. I can actually show you it because it's on the back here. I've only ever seen the yellow ones in that set. I'd love to find that set, but they're not cheap. Nor is that one. Well, having said that, I have got most of these vehicles. In fact, I've got all of these vehicles separate, apart from the crane. And in fact, I could put this one together as well if I could find the cab. I've got the trailer, I've got the helicopter, I've got the tow truck. I've got several of them police cars. I've got both cars for that one, but I haven't got the transport. So, yeah. I know I've got the tractor, I've got the trailer incomplete, and I've got the truck. The cow truck, but I haven't got the tipper or the Land Rover. I don't think I've got the Land Rover. Oh, actually, yes I have. I've just bought one. It's in a box that I've got going with the admin of the group. Right, final 2 for the Carboot rather, not the Carboot. For the Carboot haul, and that's 2. Looking at the wheels, these are like, I'm pretty certain these are Carorama models. Sort of 1/76 scale, it's a 00 gauge scale. We've got a Mercedes estate and a Volvo estate. £1 each. I don't like Carorama as much, but it does give me a couple of more modern vehicles to put on the layout when I get it out. So I've got a lot of vintage stuff, I'm trying to find some more modern stuff. Right, let's put me... Let me spin those tyres. Spinning tyres don't bother me. At the end of the day, it's the driver that's got to pay for new tyres, isn't it? If he burns them out, it's his fault. Or her fault. Could be a she. Right, the new Hot Wheels I've got. I saw these like a few weeks ago, but I didn't have any cash at the time. And I was kind of put off by the price, because these were actually $8.99 each. Which I thought was quite expensive. I still think it's quite expensive. And the only reason I've got 6 is because I got 4 of these on offer at Sainsbury's. And the 2 here that I did pay full price for. Not at Sainsbury's, I got them from Roy's. Which is a store for the Roy's of Wroxham chain here in Norfolk. And I think they've got one in Suffolk. I do believe they've got one in North Suffolk somewhere. Any hoozle. The first 2 I have are the Car Culture, and we've got the Mazda 787B. I was calling it 7878, but I've just realised that's a B, not another 8. And then we've got the Bugatti Veyron, which I like. I just don't like that blue. I'm not a fan of that shade of blue, but then again I am more of a fan of dark colours, not bright in your face. There's some bright colours I like. But yeah, these are real riders, by the way. I didn't realise that till I'd got them home, but it's got real riders written down there. But I'm struggling to see why they've got that price tag. I can't see that value in it. I know they have metal bases, you know, metal, and I can see on a lot of these that they are actually metal bases. They've just got sort of fancier packaging, and that's all I can see really, because these, well, I was going to say they look smaller than a Hot Wheels mainline, but you know, if I compare it with that one, it's not really, is it? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think $8.99 each is a bit much? But yeah, I got those ones. They were Sainsbury's have got these at the minute, 2 for £15, so you do save like 3 or 4 quid. It's the only reason I've got 6. Otherwise, I would have just stuck with the 2 that I got from Roy's. These are the other 2 that I got from Sainsbury's. We have got a 32 Ford, little hot rod. And these are the first 2 are the, what do they call that one? The Car Culture, and these ones are Boulevard. And I have to say I'm actually impressed with this one. I do like it. In 1967 Volkswagen Samba bus. I mean, you can see that's got quite a lot of detail in it. And you see that's a metal base on there as well. It doesn't look like it on... They are, but because they're black, I just find it hard to tell that they're metal in the packet. And no, I'm not opening these ones. They're going to stay in their packets. Very rare that I do that with brand new models. And the last 2 are Pop Culture that I got from, like I said, Roy's. So we've got Knight Rider's kit from Pontiac, and from Jay Leno's garage, a 1968 Mazda Cosmo Sport. So I'm actually guessing that's based on a car that he owns, because I know Jay Leno's got a pretty substantial car collection. He's quite a big car fan. And that's it. For the diecast at least, I think. I'm not seeing anything else. Right, now the only other things that I managed to get at the Carboot sale today was lights, just various different lights. In fact, I've got 5 little ones here for 50p. The whole lot for 50p, so 10 pence each. So we'll start with this one. We've got this bolt-on reverse lamp. Don't know how good these were, but that's what that's meant to be. Because way back in the day, a lot of cars didn't come from the factory with a reverse light or a fog light. You know, and at some point the laws changed in Britain where you had to have a fog light on your car, a rear fog light. So they used to make, in fact you can still get them, just bolt-on fog lights. I've got 2 downstairs in the shed, which look just like this with a red lens on, that's all it is. And that one's just got a, you know, a white clear thing, lens, fart. I think my brain took a little bit of a dump there. So yeah, 10 pence. There was a few other vehicle related lights there, but I thought, no, I've got enough. Let's just stick with what I've got. I have got a 12 volt battery here, so I'm going to try some of these. Like these I'm assuming they're meant to be like bolt-on day running lights for LEDs. LED day running lights is what I'm trying to say. Don't know if they work. I mean, if they don't, what have I lost? 10 pence. Just chuck them in the bin. I'm going to worry about 10 pence. It's like an old boy. I don't know if he was like clearing out his garage or something. Okay, so it didn't work that way round. Did we get any life? Didn't work, I'll show you. Well, that's on a 12 volt battery, but I don't think it's 100% charged, this battery. Well, that one works. What about the other one? I don't think these have been used. Look at that, that's still all wrapped up. Bet they're just some cheapies from China though. I don't think they're anything, not very long, are they? So I don't know where you get a permanent live from. I'm assuming the wire with the red tracer on it is to live. Or to positive. Need a bit more meat showing. Just the one with the red tracer, I think it's that one. Let's have a look at this one. Will it work? I mean, this battery's been sitting under my desk for a while, so yeah, that works. Oh, I don't know though, this one is actually quite bright, but like I said, the battery's not 100% charged. If you're wondering why I actually wanted these, I was going to see if I could put them on the moped. You know what I'm like with lights. I may not bother, but I'm sure I could find something to do with them. I don't know, bolt them up in the flat somewhere for a decorative light. Well, that's good. They work. Sugar. Also found that, I wish there was some more of these there. But I can't actually tell looking in there if that's LED or a light bulb. I think it's a light bulb. Should have bought some. Have I got any wire cutters in here that I can strip these with? I have. Good. Because these are thicker wires. Don't mind using my teeth on really thin wires like on the other LED lights. Shouldn't really use snips like this either. I've seen electricians on YouTube get told off for doing this in the comments. You should use proper wire strippers. There's nothing wrong. Look, I've stripped that perfectly fine using these. If you've done it for as long as I have, you know how to do it without chopping through the wire. There we go. Both of them, fine. Now I'm going to assume, I am just assuming, that the green is the positive and the black is the negative. This whole thing is plastic, that's why it's got the two wires. There is a light bulb in there, but the fact it's so dim, I'm going to say that's a 24 volt bulb. Which I think is a bit daft, because how do you change the freaking bulb? Because I've tried to twist this lens off. It just will not twist. But at least it works. Now, and obviously I can't try that one because I haven't got no wires attached to that. I don't think there's a light bulb in it either. But this one intrigued me. I want to know what this was for. It's got a metal base there, and I've got a wire there. So obviously it grounds itself out on that. That's a plastic cover over it. I've already checked that. I don't know if the bulb is going to work. I've got two spare ones there. So let's find the cleanest part of that bracket. Touch it on there. No, I don't think that bulb is any good. So to change it, you've got to push that off. Because of this metal bracket, I actually thought this was like a fuel bulb or something at first. Until I saw the wire sticking out the back and a light bulb in it. Come on. Let's pull it off. Pull that off. Yeah, that's plastic. Push and twist the bulb out. Yeah, I don't think that's a lot good to go. It's rather black. I've got identical bulb there, so we'll try and put this in. might have been that it wasn't making connection. I'm also assuming that's 12 volts. But I could be wrong on that as well. These might not be 12 volt bulbs. And like I said, I forgot to bring my bloody magnifying glass in here again. Don't know how many times I went through it in the other room. It's a right way to get this bulb in and I can't. There we go. Going to work for us if I give it a wiggle. Ask nicely. See, I don't know if it's the bulb's not connecting. I don't know if it's a bad ground on this bracket maybe. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's a bad ground. That's all it is. I just need to clean this bracket up then. So they are 12 volts. So out of curiosity, now that I know it's a bad ground, is this actually working before I chuck it in the bin? If I could get the epoxy bulb in there. Yep, that is the cleanest part there. That's definitely a blown bulb, isn't it? Make sure it's in there right. Yeah, it's a blown blub. Blown blub. We'll get rid of that. We'll put one of these back in. Make sure she works. Yep, there we go. Put the cover back on. Yes, quite treaty. Is that like perhaps a lamp of some sort of machinery, like an indicator lamp, a very old school one? Marker light maybe for a commercial vehicle. That's all I can think of. Right. Oh, I knew we had small lights. Couldn't resist it. It's a din pole, mount one. But I can modify this to just use some wires. I'll just tuck some wires up there. There is a little hole up there that I could tuck the wires through. But yeah, not a style of beacon that I actually have in the collection. It was only £5. For the John Deere light, as he called it, because, well, that is a common style I've seen on tractors. Even these days, you know, with LEDs and whatnot, these are still quite common to see. And the other thing I got for just £1, including all the batteries, is this Ever Ready Motor Mate 2 with a black body. I don't think I've ever seen one with a black body. I've seen it yellow. I may have, but it's rare. That bit is working fine, and yes, it is a flasher bulb. If I leave that on, it will start flashing eventually. But this is a bit temperamental because of the switch. I've got to get it in the right position, because if I don't put it in the, move across till it goes click, it goes off. But yeah, it came with the 4 D-cell batteries, all for £1. I mean, they're not the best D-cell batteries. Granted, they're only cheapy Kodak ones, but I've now got one in each colour. I've got a black one as well as a yellow one. I'm happy with that. Oops. And over here, I've got these, what are they, M11s? Yeah. Because they look very damn close to the halogens that my light bars in the bedroom use for the alley lights. My police bars. Because I know at least one of those has got at least one blown. at least. I just had to throw that word in there at least once more. Apparently twice because I just said it again. Right. The last thing. I only paid £2 for this. Got this little portable rechargeable floodlight. Ow! That is charging. It's getting hot, but it is charging. It's hot right around there. I had to sort of make up an adapter because this on its own won't fit, so I had to get one of these little adapters first. Now, is it taking charge? Yep. Oh, that's bright. It's a 10-watt floodlight. No, I did have it. Yeah, look at that. I've only had this on for about 10-15 minutes and it's already gone up to 1 green bar on the battery scale. Yeah, it didn't come with the adapter, but it just says 12 to 24 volts. 1.25 amps, or 1 1/4 amp. I don't know what the adapter is I put up there, but it's not going to be any more than 24 volt. But if you can, yeah, that's it. So I bought that. I have got one over at the workshop, but it's actually bigger than that one. I swear that one is actually brighter. But I want something a bit more compact because, you know, I like to tinker around with computers and things, and sometimes when you've got the case, you know, it's dark. Even with all the lights I've got in here, it still has shadowed areas. I've got various torches and things, but I can never get them to stand where I want the bloody things. So when I saw that and he wanted £2 for it, I thought, yeah, I'll gamble on that one, see if I can get it to work. So far, if it holds a charge, even better. Charging is one thing, it's whether or not it will actually hold the charge, you know, and keep the charge. Or if it'll be like dead by the morning. Right, whoop. Let's move my battery over there. Perhaps I should put that on charge as well, my 12 volts. I did all my 6 volts the other day. Right. The computer. So, I have acquired a Dell Optiplex 790. Now, got one of the cat's hairs flying around my face. Last Wednesday I went and paid Cat a visit. Cat over at The Adventures of a Norfolk Kitten. Hopefully, if I remember, a link to her YouTube channel will be in the description. We just had a hangout, if you like. We hung out all afternoon. We tried to upgrade the variator on her Yamaha jog, aka my old Yamaha jog, which still fires up great, I might add. It still sounds good, actually. But we couldn't, because we couldn't get the variator off. I don't know what you got to do to hold the actual variator from spinning so you can get the nut off. So we're going to have to look into that. So yeah, we went indoors, you know, and she, like the day before, she'd mentioned about her computer and if I could bring a power supply out for it, because I was pretty certain when she told me the symptoms that the power supply had gone pop. And she said she just turned it on, pop, smoke out the back. Pardon me. So yeah, I switched out the power supply with the one that I took over. And it powered on. But we didn't get no picture out on the screen. And I also noticed that the CPU fan wasn't rotating. It just gave like a tiny little twitch like that every once in a while, just to When I spun it with my finger, it was quite stiff. So yeah, she needs a new fan at least. I'm hoping I could just take the fan off of that one, put like one of these 3 I've got here on it. But when I removed the display adapter, because it wasn't what we would call a GPU, it was, if I can find one, just like this, just a little display adapter. But when I removed it, keep in mind I'd had the computer turned on for no longer than 30 seconds. It burnt my hands to take it out. It was hot, very hot. So I thought, yep, there's definitely a problem with that graphics display adapter. So I took it out and I thought, well, we'll see if the processor is still working despite the fan not ticking over, because in fairness the heatsink wasn't that hot when I had it running for that 30 seconds. So plugged the HDMI cable into the motherboard graphics, fired it back up, and it did post out to screen. So yeah, it was just basically just the power supply and the display adapter that failed. Maybe, like Kat said, it might have been the power supply that took out the display adapter. Or vice versa. I actually think it's more likely the display adapter was putting too much of a load on it, and that just, the power supply just didn't like it. It's quite an old one as well. It's an old Asus one, low wattage. So had a bit of an upgrade, and I may change that as well when I go back next week. Just something, I've got something better here that I can chuck in it, which probably going to need anyway with the GPU that I've got there. So the deal was, we tried this, which also wasn't working, for some parts to fix her machine up with. So that's why I've got a pile of bits here. I've got a GPU here. You know, it's not best or not brilliant by modern standards, but it's a lot better than the one that she had. For a number of reasons. One, this is actually a graphics card, and for the second reason, this one actually works. I mean, technically that display adapter I had a minute ago would still be better because it does work. So yeah, this wasn't without some problems. I couldn't get any picture on screen when I first bought it back and tried it. But what I did was just shuffle the 2 RAM modules around in the 4 DIMM slots. That's all I did, and I got it to post eventually. Really don't know what I did, that's all I was doing. There was no error beeps or anything, it just was nothing on the screen. But then I couldn't get it to actually boot, and that's what she said the main problem was. It just wouldn't boot or do anything. So I checked BIOS, and it was recognising both drives. I had a 750GB Seagate Barracuda drive in it, and some unknown brand 240GB SSD. So with a bit of fiddling around and whatnot, I put in an SSD from a laptop. Same SSD I borrowed for my main desktop when I had boot issues, which has turned out to be a loose connection. And this booted up perfectly fine. So I actually put the SSD from this on my main desktop. I used a USB 3 adapter that lets you plug into the back of a SATA drive and then plug into a USB 3. It has to be a USB 3 though with that one. And my computer recognised it, went to access it, and then got not responding. So I thought, yep, SSD had failed. So far, touch wood, I believe that's the first one I've come across that's failed, personally. But like I said, it was just an FCS, FSC, something like that. Just an unknown generic brand, I think. But now, I have got this one working. And I'm happy, because I do like my Dell machines. I don't know why. I know there's people out there that absolutely hate Dell. It'd be a boring world if we all liked the same thing, wouldn't it? I just like Dells. Even though I know they can be extremely temperamental and picky about the RAM that you install. And they've been like that for years. Look how quickly that did boot. I mean, in fairness, I've got another machine down here if Kat wants it. You know, I'm happy to do, well, basically a straight swap for that for this one. And I got down there if she wants, because it'd be a much quicker machine. And, you know, and whatnot. It's the one I paid £5 for at Carboot sale a few weeks ago. Took the gamble on it, and the only thing that was wrong with it was the power supply that had blown up. It's a nice little machine. I mean, there's not much room for upgrading. And I think, at least for what she'd want to use it for, it would be perfectly adequate. I would talk to her before I next go over and, you know, see, would you rather do that, you know, instead of swap for the bits, just swap for a computer. This has got an SSD in it as well. I don't think her other one has. I think that's hard drive. Because I fixed that one up for her several years ago now. I think it's still running Windows 7. So yeah, I don't think an upgrade would hurt, would it? And I've got this one sitting here doing nothing at the minute. The ironic thing is, I don't know if you remember in that video I did on this one that I put a upgrade in here. I upgraded the processor to a i7 2600 3.4 gigahertz. That's got exactly the same processor. Exactly the same processor. So it would literally just be a like-for-like swap, more or less. Just this one's in a Zoostorm case and that one's a Dell. This one you can actually upgrade. That one you can't. And she was telling me with this one she paid 300 quid for this. And apparently it was advertised as a gaming rig. Can't even get a GPU in it. There's not enough depth. I mean, great as an office PC, which is what these are basically designed for. Oh. I forgot I've got my Lenovo hiding under here as well. I've got all sorts of desktops. I've forgotten about some of them, I think. It's so quiet as well. It would be lovely to work with in an office. Got my little Wi-Fi thingy I put in there. Just keep forgetting to bring my little card with the passcode on it and whatnot. Should write that down again really, because that card is getting a bit worn out. I think he's missed his daddy today because I've been out for most of it. Yeah. I mean, if she prefers parts for her computer, then I'm going to probably need that adapter. That requires that power. And yes, I will put this one in that computer if she wants that. So yes, I will have a chat with her later. Anyway, I think this video's gone on for nearly an hour, if not an hour. So, I'm going to end the video here. Pardon me. Yeah. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. As always, if you like the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't, feel free to hit the like button. Right, buddy. Yeah, comments and questions in the doobly-doo down below, the comments section. Subscribe if you want to see more random videos and stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.